guys, welcome in this new video. I hope that all of you are doing great. In today's video, I want to talk about, is it possible to become a millionaire with a small trading account? So let's actually get right into it. Just before I start, if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, make sure you do that so that you don't miss any new videos coming out, and also you can leave a like under the video. So, is it possible to become a millionaire and make a lot of money starting with a very small trading account? So, there are different points that I want to talk about in this video that I think are very relevant. So, let's start with this. Is it possible to make a lot of money when you start on a small trading account? Well, the first thing that we need to look at is, has it been done before? Right? Is it something that someone eventually has achieved in life? The answer is yes. If you look at someone like Bouchard, who started with $400 and eventually made $200 million. Or if we look at someone like Michael Marcus, who started with $30,000 and made $80 million in less than 10 years. So is it possible? Well, yes, it's possible, right? It has been done previously before in history by some trader. So yes, it is possible. Now, the other question that is really important and even more important to answer is it probable, right? It's really important in trading that you make a huge differentiation between what is possible and what is probable. So what are the probabilities of something like that happening in today's world? Well, very low. Now, why is that? Well, first of all, before 40, 50, 60 years ago, the markets were more easy to trade. It was just easier to trade if you knew what you were doing, simply because at that time there were very few professional traders, which means that the people who knew how to trade really had a big edge on the market and could profit a lot from that. Versus now, the information is so accessible for everyone that the simple, for example, formula of just like buying at the retracement of a trend and just riding the trend and making a lot of money, that doesn't really work in today's world, because the markets have less better trends, we could say, and they last for a very short period amount of time versus than they were 40, 50 years ago, as I said. So number one, the markets today are harder to trade. Now, that doesn't mean that you cannot be profitable. Of course you can be profitable, but you need a little more advanced system that really gives you an edge on most people. So you really need to have access to the right information that very few people have, which will basically just make you a little above the average trader, and this is how you will become profitable and be able to succeed in trading. But the markets are harder to trade, as simple as that. So that's number one. That's the first thing that you have to keep in mind. The second thing that you have to keep in mind is that yes, it has been done in the past, but only by a few people, right? Only by a handful of people, right? Over millions of people. So what are the probabilities? Well, they're very, 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 very low, right? Now, once again, that doesn't mean that it's impossible. That only means that you are basically not playing in your favor. You are going against the probabilities, which is normally not the best thing to do, but it is not impossible. That is what you have to keep in mind as well. I think the problem with people who start with a small account and who have big goals like that, they don't let themselves the time to actually grow that account, right? They want to make that million in like 2 years. When you start with a very small amount of money, well, that is a little just not realistic, right? It's not a good goal to have, because this goal, right, will basically push you to take more risk on the market, which is never something that you want to do. You will start to over risk, you will start to over trade, because all you want is to achieve this goal of making $1 million, but you are not focusing on properly trading and making the best decisions. So that is playing against you to have those type of goals, and that's also something that is really important to keep in mind. But the idea is that if you actually start with a small amount of money, After that, let's say that you put money every month, a little bit on your account, you grow your account, you respect a good risk management, you do the things right, you are patient, you do that for 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Well, at the end, you could end up with a lot of money, right? Even if you start with a small amount. But as I said, most people don't have that patience. They don't have that long-term vision with their trading, and that in itself will lead them into the wrong direction. So the answer to the question of this video is yes, it is possible. You can start with a very small amount of money and eventually make a fortune. Now that is very improbable and unlikely to happen. It will take tremendous amount of patience, tremendous skill in your trading, and a bunch of other things that we could go over into this video, but I just want to keep it short and just to give you guys an overall idea. So if you started with a small amount of money, it's not a bad thing per se. It's not something that is immoral or whatever, but you just have to basically have the right expectation from this account, right? If you started with a small account, well, don't expect to be rich in 2-3 years, right? Maybe in 20-30 years, but not in 2-3 years, right? Like, you need to have the right expectation with what you are thinking that you could achieve with your trading account, because as I said, if you don't have the right expectation, well, it will lead you in the wrong direction, because you will over risk, over trade, and you will just not do the right things that you have to do to eventually grow this account, and you will blow your account like 90% of people. This is what happens, right? I guess that you guys know that, but 9 people out of 10 lose money trading. So if you have the wrong goals, if you have the wrong expectations, that in itself will allow you to lose money, and it will not help you to reach your goals at the end, right? This is one of the greatest paradox of trading. If you want to make money in trading, you will probably not. But if you don't really care about the money, this is when you can make money, right? So you have to keep those things in mind and see the bigger picture as well. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that it gave you some clarity on this topic. If you did, please like the video and share it around you. I would truly appreciate it, alright? So on that, take care, trade with care, manage your money well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye!